Man, we live. Beat House Studios.
We do.
My man Jon Boy in the building, man.
We do.
TheKid315.com. And first, what I want to ask you is, how did you come up with your name?
Oh man, back in the day, you know, being from Thibodeau, Louisiana, you know what I'm saying, we had a little rap group called the Battle Boys, and my rap name was J Fresh, and I was a producer as well as an artist with the group. There was three of us, me, Taze, Young Mike, and I mean Lil Mike, you know what I'm saying, we called him Lil Mike, aka Young Streets, you know, aka Young Taze, and J Fresh. So J Fresh, when I left Louisiana, when I was, as soon as I graduated high school, went straight to college. Like 3 days later, I was went to Full Sail. I was in Florida, you know, by myself and shit. And I was like, shit, J Fresh is too close to Manny Fresh. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I can't do that. And, you know, we both from the South, so it was like, I gotta change my name. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna change my name to Jon Boy, you know what I'm saying? Still J Fresh, but, you know, J Fresh, aka Jon Boy, you know, it just stuck with me, man, since I was 18, you know, and just ran with it, stayed with it, started my company, started my LLC when I was 18, and been going ever since, Jon Boy Productions LLC, you know, so, yes sir.
Okay, no doubt, no doubt. So you say you started off rapping. So what made you go to produce, and what made you even want to produce?
Oh man, I actually started off producing, but I would make my own beats, and then I was like, man, you know, I just started rapping over them. You know, my first song was called Down South. It's from back in the day, and I was like, shit, you know, laid it down, and then the Battle Boys heard it. It was at first it was just Jeremy and Lil Mike, and it was like, shit, you know, we started doing songs again. And I was like, shit, we might as well become a group. So we all became the Battle Boys, and you know, but I used to DJ at clubs and stuff, you know, since I was 17, like 17 to 18, when I left and went to college and stuff. You know, from college I came straight to Atlanta, but I started off making beats. I've been playing drums since I was like 4 years old, you know what I'm saying? So the beats was just like kind of came natural to me, and yep, that's pretty much it, man.
Okay, okay. So who are some artists from Atlanta that you actually worked with that come down here and lay a lot of tracks down here?
Oh man. Whew. Diamond, Future, Rocco, Young Scooter, Gucci Man, Young Jock, Gorilla Zoe, B.O.B. I did some stuff with Pimp C before he passed away. Vicious from UGK Records. The Set Boys from UGK Records.
We don't even want to give them no more. Wait, that's enough.
Okay.
We don't even want to give them no more. But when them people started coming to you, and you started getting your name out there, and more people started coming to you, what was the feeling of that? Did that make you feel like, okay, I made it?
Whew. Well, the first feeling I've ever got of like I made it was at the video shoot at what used to be Bad Boy South Block Entertainment now, with Young Jock and Gorilla Zoe. I did a song for them called what's it called? Getting to the Money. I did the hook and I did the beat, and did the hook and the beat, and I screwed my voice up. It was like, I be getting to the money, I be getting to the money.
I remember that.
Oh, you remember
that?
Okay,
I remember that.
Yeah, man, I did that hook, and I screwed my, you know, just chopped my voice up and stuff, and I did the beat, and it made his second album. Diddy heard it, and he was like, man, it's gotta go on the album, you know what I'm saying? So Jock hit me up, he was like, yo, man, Diddy heard that shit, man, he fucking love that shit. You on the album, homie. And I was like, shit. I had an apartment back then, man, I was with this girl, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, she took my heart and ripped it out, man. Threw it on the ground and smashed it with a metal bat, man. It was crazy. It was a crazy situation. I had a 2-bedroom apartment with her. In the 2nd bedroom, I had my little setup, you know. I actually don't have my old speakers. I got like all new shit now, but my old speakers are in my office. I keep them in there, so I had them, and I had a little, you know, computer setup, you know, making my beats and stuff. It wasn't the most spectacular setup you ever seen, but it was enough to get by, you know.
Yeah.
So like my homeboy Young Vet had one day he just brought Young Jock like to my apartment, like, and we were just watching them like on Oprah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what the fuck? Like 2 of my homeboys was sitting in the living room watching TV. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy. Like 2 weeks before that, I told the chick who was my girl at the time, you know, we were together for 6 years, you know, and all that shit. And I told her, we was in the car, we was pulling up, and that came on, it's going down record, and I was like, babe, I'm tired of working with these local artists. Like, I need to work with artists like that. Like, that song, we hear that song on the radio.
All the time.
All the time, back to back to back. And I told her, I said, babe, I need to work with artists like that. And shit, 2 weeks later, man, he was at my front door. You know what I'm saying? Got work through people, man. My homeboy Young Vet, man, he hooked it up. You know what I'm saying? And Vet introduced me to a lot of people. And for those that don't know, Young Vet is actually the one that wrote "I'ma Do Me" for Rocco. He wrote the hook. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he created the hook for Rocco. Rocco did the verses, all that on his own, but yeah, Vet wrote the hook. He told him, yep. It was in my old studio. Rocco was there, Vet was there. Rocco was writing the verse. It was actually started off, it was supposed to be Rocco on the song with Vet, but then, you know, it turned out Rocco had another session at Patchwork, so they kind of wrapped it up, and Vet was like, hey man, Rocco, check this out, bro. You do you, nigga, I'ma do me, nigga, I'ma do me, nigga. You just do you, I'ma do me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He always throw his hands like that, and he told him, you know. And I was like, shit, he looked at him like that, and he went back to doing his thing, but he went and recorded the hit that night at Patchwork. He left my studio and recorded, and you know, he gave Vet his credits, you know what I'm saying? And Vet's real name is Brett, you know what I'm saying? So they got the credits, man. His name's on there and stuff. But yeah, Vet is a good friend of mine, man. Like one of my best friends, dog. You know, one of those people you don't see, you know, every 2 months, every month, but you know that relationship is still there. You know, he's a good dude. You know, he helped me out a lot, man. So I always say, man, when I get my first million, bro, you know what I'm saying? I got you. You know what I'm saying? So my homie, but yep.
So, your first hit that was actually commercialized was that song with Jock and Gorilla Zoe?
My first placement was on Kaya Chambers' second album called Gangsters. That was my first, first 2 major placements. You know, I ended up getting screwed out of the deal. I didn't get any money for none of that free work, but it, you know, it got me in the door.
Right.
You know, so it's like, yeah, man, you know.
So what are some of the things that you notice, even just trying to be in the industry, with people trying to get over and trying to do stuff like that, not trying to give you your credits or whatever on the song? Have you ran into a lot of that?
Not really not getting the credit. The only time I didn't get credit for records that I produced and engineered was for the Kaya project. You know what I'm saying? Kaya Chambers. You know what I'm saying? She was like, you know, I ended up signing some paperwork in this big old office with like lawyers and shit, and she was there. She was like, yeah, everything gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get some money for the beats and this and that, just sign this. You know, so I had, you know, I was like fucking 19 years old, you know what I'm saying, fresh out of college, excited as fuck to just work with anybody, you know, and I ended up signing it, and, you know, I pretty much signed all my rights away to the tracks I did on the album. The contract was this thick, and I'm in a big old building with people walking and shit, and it's just all kind of stuff going on. We're sitting at this little table. You know, it's just like, you know, it was pretty dumb of me to do that, but it got me in the door. You know what I'm saying? So she gave me credit in this this magazine. I think it's called Scratch Magazine with Dr. Dre. He was on the cover of it, and she said my name a couple times in it, in a little paragraph. That was the only credit I received. You know, as far as on the album, Kaya made the beat. Kaya did this, Kaya did. So it's like, you know,
wow.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I don't think I'll be working with Kaya anymore. You know, not taking away from anything she's doing. You know, I appreciate her for even fucking with me. You know, because
right.
You know, I learned. You know, she taught me a valuable lesson. That never happened again. So, you know,
definitely.
Yeah.
So, I'm down here in Atlanta for a minute, man. We kicking it. I think, or we can do a special or something for somebody, man. I would like to give back to the people who do support me. You know what I'm saying? So we'll make that happen after this is over. But y'all gonna be looking out for that, man. We're gonna get y'all something right. So the next thing that I got for you, man, how hard is it to actually get established down here in Atlanta with so many artists, so many people? I'm assuming it's a lot of producers. So how hard is it to get established and get your name out there?
Ooh, man, I literally had to go through a point where I got to a point where I was just like living in a warehouse. Like, you know, I sacrificed everything for this music. Like, I didn't even care. I had to make a choice: either get the office space, you know what I'm saying, that's $900 a month, or stay in an apartment, you know, where I can only run my studio for wee hours of the day before people call the cops. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was at the bottom level. It was people on top of me, people on the side of me. You know, it was out there in Marietta in Cobb County. So, you know, I had to make a decision, man. And I went to the warehouse. I saw the spaces they had, and I saw the environment. Like, you know, it was like studio, rehearsal hall, like a lot of major rock bands actually practiced at that same spot where I was living at, man. So I made a decision to say, fuck it. I was like, you know, fuck the luxury of having my own bathroom. I had to share a bathroom with people, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're in the bathroom, I have to wait, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And it's way in the corner of this cold warehouse, you know what I'm saying? Rats and roaches, like, every night, you know what I'm saying? Like, you taking a shower, there's these huge city roaches, and they're like right on the wall, and you just gotta make sure you don't touch them, you know what I'm saying? It was horrible, and it was some of the hardest shit I ever had to go through, but I wouldn't trade that for the world, man, because it made me into the man I am today. It made me thankful for every little thing that I have, you know. And I had to sacrifice all that, man, for this music, man. And you know, I went into a mode in my mind where I was making like 3 beats a day, at least. You know, sometimes staying up all night, recording people. I got out here, man. I put out flyers. And so these are my 3 flyers up here. I got the first one up there. You see, of course, I was a lot skinnier back then, but I was like 19, 20. I was going everywhere with it. You know, it was like maybe like a 3-year period in between each flyer. You know, I put them everywhere. I could get like 5,000 flyers of each made box, and I take like 200-300. Put 50 in this barbershop. Any barbershop in the city, man. Any hip hop clothing store. Any underground, the whole underground, everywhere. Jon Boy, everywhere you see that shit. You know, you even see it on the floor, because, you know, people take flyers, they throw them. I used to go out to Club 112 back when it was popping, and I used to be out there, you know, putting flyers in
the windshield wiper.
Yes, sir. Putting them in everybody's car in the snow, rain, fucking, you know. When it was a hot night, that was perfect, because, you know, you don't have to deal with all that other shit, you know, the conditions of the weather and stuff. But just getting out there, man, like, they gonna know who I am. Like, they gonna know if they need beats, I'm their guy, you know what I'm saying? And I was everywhere, man, just putting that shit everywhere, man. Every day when I wasn't making beats, I was out there promoting myself, man. That's very important, you know. People pay people to do that, but nobody's gonna promote you the way that you're gonna promote you. You know, nobody's gonna give someone a flyer that you pay and be like, oh yeah, they have questions and have to ask this person. Okay, well, you know, what's this and how does this work? They're not gonna know. They just have a flyer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
talk to people hand to hand. That's so important, man. You know, that's so important, hand to hand. And I started off with 10 clients, then 20, then 30. You know, and shit. Now, right now, I probably got about 300 clients, man, that come on a yearly basis, like to my studio, to either record or get mixing or buy beats. So I just been surviving off of that, like for the last 6, 7 years. You know what I'm saying? And now it's to the point where I barely even have free time, dog. Like, I barely see the sun, man. I'm always in here. Like, I can draw this whole place with my eyes closed. Like, you know. But I'm not complaining. Very thankful. But you have to take time out for yourself, man. I'm learning that, cause, you know, especially being out here with no family. You know what I'm saying? I know you can relate to that, man. You know, it gets hard, man. Like, shit. You know, sometimes you need somebody to tell you, like, look, man, you know, keep going, this and that, you know, stuff like that. But just gotta stay strong and keep moving forward, man. You know, just know that every struggle you go through is a test. It's just a test. You know what I'm saying? You gotta close your eyes to escape that shit and go deep into your mind and think about what it is. You know, it's just a test. It's nothing more than that. And keep moving forward. Never give up, because when you chasing after what you love, man, it's gonna be obstacles put. It's gonna be get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, you have to put it in your mind that nothing and nobody's gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying? And keep going forward, man. You know, that's pretty much it. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people needed to hear that. You gotta keep going forward, and you gotta keep your eye on the prize. Can't stop.
That's real.
And that's even why I'm down here in Atlanta. I'm not from Atlanta. I don't live down here. But you got to.
Got to. On you Grizzly, that's what's up, man. I respect that, man.
Got to. So man, so much more that we can talk about on this interview. But I would like to save it even for a later time, because you know, people ain't going to watch a 30-minute interview. You know what I'm saying? People's attention span ain't that long. I usually would say, well, actually, I'm gonna do that. You can put out whatever info you would like to for people to contact you, whether it's your number, your Instagram, your Twitter, however you want somebody to be able to get in touch with you, you can do that. And I'll put it on the end.
All right. Well, y'all can get in touch with me, you know what I'm saying? You can hit me at 404-447-7734. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram at Jon Boy. You know what I'm saying? It's at Jon __boy. So at JON__boy, BOY. And follow me on Twitter at JBPLLC. That's at JBPLLC. And y'all check out my website, you know, whatitdojonboy.com. WATITDOJONBOY.com. And that's it. Holla at your boy, man. You need beats, mixing, mastering, whatever, you know, holla at me. I usually have a turnaround rate of like 2 days, you know, so holla at your boy. Kicking in with my dog 315.com, man. We getting it in, you know.
I gave y'all the connect, man. Y'all go ahead and do what y'all want to do with it, but I gave y'all the connect, man. Y'all can't say I ain't do nothing for y'all. Holla.
That's what's up. 100.